In this problem, it says determine whether this statement is true or false. If p of x is equal to the x minus 4 to the power of 6 and x plus 7 to the power of 5, then the graph of the polynomial function crosses the x-axis at 4, 0. Okay, now we need to think about something. What does it mean that crosses the x-axis? So we have 2 points here actually. We have 2 points. Crossing the x-axis and the point. Does this p of x crosses x-axis? If it does it cross the x-axis at this point 4, 0 or no? So in other words, 4, 0 or 4, number 4, is it a 0 of the function? Because 4 gives you 0. When x is 4, then y is 0. Or when x is 4, then p of 4 is 0. So what does this point tell you? So p of 4, is it 0? This is the first question. Let's look at the p of x. P of x is this. So p of 4, just plug 4. Plug 4. So what do you get? 4 minus 4 to the power of 6 and 4 plus 7 to the power of 5. Is it 0? Yes, absolutely it is 0, because 4 minus 4, it is 0. 0 times anything is 0. So the first, we can find, we can answer the first part. The first part, this is correct. P of 4 is 0. So the 4 is a 0 of the function, okay? Is a 0 of the function. So this is correct. And you can look at this immediately and you can tell, because when you plug 4, you get 4 minus 4 is 0 times whatever is 0. The second part, do we cross, does this, at this point, does the function cross or the x-axis, or the x-axis is just a tangent? Because you remember this, we have two cases. Sometimes the 0 of the function, when you have a 0 of the function, the graph sometimes does cross the x-axis, or sometimes it doesn't. It just touch it. It's just, the x-axis, play the role of the tangent of that graph. So how do we know this? We already have a small thing that we can tell. What we need is to look at the degree. Now we have 2 factors here, right? Now we have 2 factors, and it's clearly that we are speaking about the first factor. Why do we speak about the first factor? Because the question asks about this 0. It's it asks about the 4, number 4. It doesn't ask about number -7, because it's clear that we have 2 zeros here. How many zeros we have here? We have 2 zeros. The first 0 is the 4, and it has a multiplicity of 6, and we have -7, which has a multiplicity of 5. Just immediately I can tell, we can write this down there, okay? So when x, the first 0, x is 4 of multiplicity of what? 6. X equals 4 is a 0, is a 0 of the function. X equals 4, let me write this here. X equals 4 is a 0 of the polynomial of p of x, which is p of x is the 0 of the polynomial of a multiplicity of what? Of 6. The second 0 is x equals to the -7. The second 0, x equals to the -7, is a 0 of p of x of a multiplicity of 5, correct? Yeah, but we don't care about the second one, we just care about the first one, because in the question it says, does the graph of the polynomial crosses the x-axis at 4, 0? So it doesn't mention the what? The negative 7, 0. The negative 7, 0. Yeah, what we have to do is just look at the power, number of the multiplicity. So I'm going to erase this part. I'm going to look at this number. This is number 6, right? So 6 is even. 6 is even. 6 is even. So let me call this multiplicity as k, okay? So this is k. So the first case is, number 1. If k is odd, then the graph crosses x-axis at what? At the 0, which is in this case the 0, which is let me call it C0. Suppose that C0. So what is k? K, if you have this factor, I'm talking about this factor, okay? Suppose that you have this factor, x minus c to the power of k. The second case, if k is even, then the graph is a tangent. Is a tangent to the x-axis. To the x-axis. Where exactly is going to be tangent? At C0, which is the 0. We're talking about the 0 of the function, of the factor. In our case, we are talking about which factor? We're talking about this factor, x minus 4 to the power of 6, I guess, right? So we are talking about this factor, yes, x minus 4 to the power of 6. So what is c in this case? C is 4 and k is 6, right? K, is it odd or even? So it's even in our case. K is even. So second condition applies, because k is even, which is 6. Then the graph is a tangent to the x-axis at this point, which is 4, 0. It doesn't cross. It's tangent. It's tangent. So the statement is false. So the statement is false. So we have, two parts that says that the statement is false. Why it is false? Why it is false? Because x minus 4 to the power of 6 is a factor of the given polynomial and the exponent 6 is odd. Absolutely, this is incorrect because 6 is not odd. So we must have the second one is the correct one. Okay, C is the correct one because 6 is even. Okay.